And now for something very special. This artist's career has spanned back right through to the 60s and particularly known for beautiful interpretations of songs such as Send in the Clowns, Chelsea Morning, and, of course, Amazing Grace. But now, a career change, somewhat, because she has written a whole album of her own compositions, of which we may hear some of today. So please, put your hands together for the wonderful Judy Collins.
Thank you so much. Oh, I'm thrilled to be here. How are you doing out there? I just want you to know that you're looking at the American Idol of 1956.
Say I love you right out loud. Dreams and schemes and circus crowds. I've looked at life that way, and now old friends are acting strange. They shake their heads and say I've changed. Well, something's lost, but something's gained.
Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm really happy to be here. I owe England a lot because a lot of songs of mine have done very well here before they got back to the States. So, yes, absolutely. And so, I was going to tell you about I know how it's been for you, the pandemic, but, a friend of mine called and said, in this pandemic, I have not been able to stop smoking. And I said, have you tried? And he said, no. So I said, well, I think you have to see my doctor. He's very, very good, totally non-judgmental. And so he went to see my doctor. Dr. Brune said to him, well, you know what happens when you take a cigarette into your body? Actually, when any one of us takes a cigarette into their bodies, God takes an hour of your life and gives it to Keith Richards. I wish I knew where I've heard that story, because, if he had that story, I'm sure he has other good stories as well. But anyway, I'm going to sing you this song, and then I'm going to tell you something about it. But when you hear it, you'll know that it's by my friend Joan Baez, who she and I are very good friends and old friends, and we have many stories.
Well, I'll be damned, here comes your ghost again, but that's not unusual.
This is a song about her lover, Bob Dylan.
It's just that the moon is full and you happen to call. And here I sit, hand on the telephone, hearing a voice I'd known a couple of light years ago, heading straight for a fall. From a booth in the Midwest. 50 years ago I got you some cufflinks. You brought me something. We both know what memories can bring. They bring diamonds and rust.
Thank you. Now, Joan and I have been friendly for a long time, and we have recorded together. In about 1968, we recorded a version of Had I a Golden Thread, of Pete Seeger's, of course, and a needle so fine, I would weave a magic thread of rainbow design, of rainbow design. Of course, it was an album that I was producing, which had all women singers on it, and it was written for an organization in New York City, well, in other places too, called Women Strike for Peace. Remember the old days when we had such organizations? So she and I have known each other for a long time. And I recorded one of her songs about her husband, David, who was jailed as a conscientious objector. And then she always tries to get me to sing this other song of hers. How long since I spent the whole night in a twin bed with a stranger, with his warm arms all around me. And I was online not too long ago, and I saw that somebody had misunderstood the lyrics, and they thought that it said, how long since I spent the whole night in a twin bed with a stranger, with the Mormons all around me. I want to thank Jo for introducing me so well. She did a beautiful job, I thought. Very lovely. And everybody at Shrewsbury here has gotten me all the things I need. Well, I used to need a lot more, but they got me iced coffee, and they got me a sandwich, and that'll do it. About today, that'll do it. Oh, there was the time of, sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and I did not do many drugs. I tell you that I was terrified that they would interfere with my drinking. And so one of the things that Jo mentioned was that I have a new album. It's called Spellbound. I'm going to sing you that song in a little while, but first of all, I'm going to sing you one that sort of was one of the last to arrive in my psyche. And I think it's in tune, but I'll see a little bit. I'll tell you a couple of more things while I tune it. So many strings, so little time. I don't know why it was. I used to play, when I started out, I was playing the sixth string. I was playing a Martin, it was sixth string. And I could pick like the wind. I could Travis-style pick. I mean, it was fantastic the way I played. I'll tell you about it, but you never have to have me prove it, because I can't do it anymore. Because I fell in love with the, oh, what will you give me? Say the green bells of Rimney, which is, of course, the great Pete Seeger playing the 12-string, and I just fell in love with that sound because it sounds more like an orchestra, doesn't it? It's very nice. And so with this presentation of the 12-string guitar playing, I will sing you a song from Spellbound. By the way, it came out in vinyl the other day. Thank you to the younger generation for bringing vinyl back. And my generation, which put it out of business. When I was a girl in Colorado, rivers dance the canyon walls, paintbrush nodded in the springtime,
I could hear the bluebirds call. When I was a girl in Colorado, winter held me in its arms. Summers rocked me like a lover. I could never come to harm. When I was a girl in Colorado, I could conquer anything. I could fly with wings of silver. I could whisper, I could sing. Will you take me to the mountains before another summer ends? We can catch the outbound zephyr. We can travel like the wind. When I moved out to the desert, 40 years to lose my soul. Somewhere back there in her rivers, Colorado made me whole. When I go back to the mountains, I always find a windy hill. Watch the sunrise over Long's Peak. Ski those slopes and feel that thrill. Will you take me to the mountains before another summer ends? We can catch the westbound zephyr. We can travel like the wind. When I was a girl in Colorado, I knew enough to fall in love. Like the bluebirds in the pine tree, like the snowfall from above. Will you take me to the mountains before another summer ends? We can catch the outbound zephyr. We can travel like the wind. Like the Thank you, thank you.
A couple of weeks ago, we were in Newport, Rhode Island, where, of course, the folk music festival there was one of the first festivals I went to when I was 20, something or other, 23 maybe. It was 1963. I was 24, an older woman. And I sang this song at this festival. It's a song that I learned at the Denver Folklore Society when I was about 15, when I first started going there and following a guy named Lingo the Drifter. Lingo the Drifter was the founder of the Denver Folklore Society, and there I was following him around and listening to all the singers who came to the Denver Folklore Society, you know, these good-looking kids who were very thin and wore sandals in the snow. And I had a wonderful time in those days. We'd go up to Lookout Mountain where he had a cabin, and he'd make homemade borscht, and we'd all drink a lot of home brew. I told you about the drinking. It gets worse. And but I'm going to start by singing you this song, which I learned at one of those Folklore Society gatherings, and I'm going to sing it for you now.
Lazarus stole a stallion, stole him.
Oh, I'm starting it wrong. I'm starting with the wrong chorus. Yeah, I have to sing the ooh, ooh, ooh first. You would send me notes to my Facebook and argue that I should have done it first. So I'm going to do it first now.
Lazarus stole a stallion, stole him from the misty mountains, and they chased him and they caught him, and in iron chains they bound him. Word was brought to that her brother was in prison. Bring me gold and 6 fine horses. I will buy my brother's freedom. Judge, oh judge, please spare my brother. I will give you gold and silver. I don't want your gold and silver. All I want are your sweet favors. Anastasia, oh my sister, are you mad with grief?
For a long time, I was the only girl in New York, or the only folk singing girl in New York who didn't write my own songs. It was not, you know, I grew up in Denver. Well, I was born in Seattle. I was raised in Seattle, Hollywood, and Denver. And my father had a radio show from the time he was young, from 1937. And so I heard all my life, I was born in 39, so always I woke up listening to, oh, Danny boy, the pipes are calling from glen to glen and down the mountainside. The summer's gone and all the leaves are dying. It's you must go. You got it right. But come ye back when summer's in the meadow, or when the valley's hushed and white with snow. It's I'll be here in sunlight or in shadow. Oh, Danny boy, I love you so. Oh, good. Well, you're ready to go on the road, I can tell that. You'll love it, it's amazing. So he would sing that, but he would also sing all the songs of Rodgers and Hart and the Great American Songbook, we used to call it, but now we call it the Rod Stewart Songbook. He would have guests on his show, and he would tell Mae West jokes. Mae West, who said things like, restraint is fine if it doesn't go too far. And she said, I used to be Snow White, but I drifted. And she said one night her friend was coming to see her, and she came backstage, and she was wearing this gorgeous mink coat, and Mae said, why, darling, that is so beautiful. Where did you get it? And her friend said, well, Mae, I met a man with $10,000. And the next time they met, it was Mae West who had on this gorgeous long coat. And her friend said, why, Mae, where did you get that? Did you meet a man with $10,000? And Mae said, why, no, darling. I met 10,000 men with $1. Sang to make you cry, held you all night long, home through the streets with you in my arms, cold winter mornings in a Colorado town. You see me stumble, I've watched you fall. You know we've got nothing. You know we've got it all. Rain comes down and the truck's rolling by. Does that old parka keep you dry? 16 years old, out on the road. trying to get to the sky.
Back in September, you called me on the phone. Ma, you know I love you, but I gotta be on my own. Comes a time in a boy's life when he's gotta be a man. Please don't try to find me. Please try to understand. Got me a job in a rock and roll band. I'm gonna try to see if I can get by. 16 years old, out on the road, trying to get to the sky.
Here's Russell Wald.
I've watched you grow through all these years. You've seen me stumble. I've dried your tears. Sometimes there were roses, sometimes it was thorns. But I know you're gonna make it as sure as you were born. And I hope from what you wanted, you get what you need. I know you're gonna make it. You were born to the breeze. 16 years old, out on the road, trying to get to the
Thank you. They call the wind Mariah, right? She's up to her old tricks. All right. I love this song, and I'm going to sing it to you, in spite of the fact that it's been sung by many people, many places, but I'm going to sing it here, right this minute, for you.
I woke up, it was a Chelsea morning, and the first thing that I heard was a song outside my window, and the falling of the words. It came ringing up like Christmas bells, wrapping up like pipes and drums. Oh, won't you stay? We'll put on the day, and we'll wear it till the night comes. Ooh. I woke up, it was a Chelsea morning, and the first thing that I saw was the sun through yellow curtains and a rainbow on my wall. Blue, red, green, and gold to welcome you. Crimson crystal beads to beckon. There's a sun show every second. Now the curtain opens on a portrait of today, and the streets are paved with passers-by. Pigeons fly and passers-by trying to go away. Ooh. I woke up, it was a Chelsea morning, and the first thing that I knew, there was milk and toast and honey and a bowl of oranges too, and the light poured in like butterscotch, stuck to all my senses. Oh, won't you stay? We'll put on the day and we'll talk in present tense. When the curtain closes and the rainbow runs away, I will bring you incense owls by night, by jewellight, by candlelight, if only you will stay. Oh, my darling, won't you wake up? It's a Chelsea morning. Oh, I'm glad I decided to sing that. Let's see what we can come up with here. So nice to be here with all of you. It's our private moment. Come, ye masters of war, you that build all the guns, you that build the display, you that build the big bombs, you that hide behind walls, you that hide behind desks. I just want you to know I can see through your masks. You that never done nothing but build to destroy. You play with my world like it's your little toy. You put a gun in my hand and you hide from my eyes. Then you turn and run faster when the hot bullets fly. Like Judas of old, you lie and deceive. A world war can be won. You want me to believe, but I see through your eyes, and I see through your brain, like I see through the water that runs down the drain. You fasten the triggers for others to fire. Then you sit back and watch while the death count gets higher.
Thank you, Mr. Dylan, for writing that song and continuing to be here with us on this journey that we have. It's a hard journey for lots of people. And every once in a while you get a glimmer of light, knows that you're on the right path. Sometimes it's hard to know, so those glimmers are very important. And I had a glimmer. I've had a lot of glimmers through my life, as we all have. Every once in a while, you have to turn around and say, is this me? Is this where I am? What am I doing here? What are you doing here? How are you anyway? Are you feeling okay now, by now? It was 1963. It was 3 years after I'd recorded this song, and I got a call from Dylan's manager, who was a friend of mine, thank you, yes. And he was a fellow named Al Grossman who'd started a club in Chicago called the Gate of Horton, which was the home of many, many artists that we all know who came out. When I got there in 1960, that's where I met Odetta and the Terriers and a lot of other people. I had a fascinating career. I started out in 1959 opening up at the Gilded Garter, which was a little tiny club where I was on and off the stage with a rock and roll singer named Donna St. Thomas. And Donna St. Thomas was married to, this was my first gig. No, that's not right. I had another gig in Boulder, Colorado, but there was no rock and roll artist on the bill with me, and I wasn't going down to Denver to see the Tropics, which was the strip club in Denver. That's the club that my co-performer was married to the guy who started it. So during that time, Dylan came to see me. He was named, what was his name? Robert Zimmerman. And he was singing old blues, old Woody Guthrie blues, badly sung, badly chosen. I thought, this guy is going exactly nowhere. Anyway, Grossman invited me to a party in '63 to come up to where he lived, where his home was in, where was it? Woodstock, yes, in Woodstock. Not to where the festival was, but somewhere where it was going to happen, near where it was going, near Yasker's farm. And he had a little castle that he had imported from Italy. They have lots of those, and so they didn't miss it at all. So he called me and he said, I want you to come to my house up in Woodstock, and we're going to have a party, and Bobby's going to come up and sing and play and so forth. We'll have a good time. So come and bring your little suitcase and bring your terry cloth robe. I didn't know how he knew that I had a terry cloth robe, but I was curious to know that. So I got my little suitcase ready and I went up there, and we had a great time. There were a lot of people there that I knew. In fact, so many people. And by the time the party and the dinner was over, I was, as you know, passed out again. I mean, that was my habit after various and sundry social gatherings. I don't have to do that now, so I know who was at the parties that I go to, which is excellent information to have. You know which to stay away from, that's what it is. I didn't know that. Anyway, I woke up in the middle of the night and out of a dead sleep, and I heard this voice coming up the stairs. And so and it was, of course, and so I got out of bed and I put on my terry cloth robe. Fortunately, I had it with me. It was still there in my bag. And, things can happen and things can disappear. Anyway, I put that on and I went downstairs. I could hear it was coming from way down in the bottom of this little castle. And so I went down and sat on this marble step in front of a door that was shut tight. It was painted blue. And actually, Grossman's widow has told me that they kept it exactly like that. the way it was for decades. And this is what I heard through the door. He was writing this song. Though I know that evening's empire has returned into sand, banished from my hand, left me blindly here to stand, but still not sleeping. My weariness amazes me, I'm branded on my feet. I have no one to meet, and the ancient empty streets too dead for dreaming. Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, play a song for me. I'm not sleepy, and there is no place I'm going to. Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, play a song for me. In the jingle jangle morning, I'll come following you. Take me on a trip upon your magic swirling ship. My senses have been stripped, my toes too numb to step. Wait only for my boot heels to be wandering. I'm ready to go anywhere. I'm ready for it to fade into my own parade. Cast your dancing spell my way. I promise to go under it. Let me hear you now. Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, play a song for me. I'm not sleepy, and there is no place I'm going to. Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, play a song for me. In the jingle jangle morning, I'll come following you. Then take me disappearing through the smoke rings of my mind, down the foggy ruins of time, far past the frozen leaves, the haunted, frightened trees, out to the windy beach, far from the twisted reach of crazy sorrow, to dance beneath the diamond sky with one hand waving free, silhouetted by the sea, circled by the circus sands, with all memory and fate driven deep beneath the waves. Let me forget about today until tomorrow. Let me hear you now. Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, play a song for me. I'm not sleepy, and there is no place I'm going to. Thank you so much. Somewhere where it won't fall down. Okay, that's better. Okay, that's better. Hi, I'm at the piano now. This is where I spent all of my years growing up practicing, etc. You can turn this a little bit up, just the keyboard, so I can hear it just a little bit better. I was living in New York. I still live in New York all the time. I mean, not when I'm on the road. I can't do it from at home. I tried working from home like that, but it doesn't work. Have to get out. Have to see you guys, have to see what you're up to, have to talk to you on the planes and in the theaters and on the street, I like to keep up because I know that you guys know what's really going on. Keep it to yourselves. Anyway, in 1966, Leonard Cohen came to see me at the suggestion of a friend of his who was a friend of mine. I had been known to record other people's songs, and so he brought me all his first songs. Nobody else had heard them, and so I got to take my pick. And after I recorded Suzanne, who's having that chat behind the stage? Will you go check it out, please? Because they're saying something I want to know about. So after Leonard said, "Why aren't you writing your own songs?" I went home and wrote this one. What I'll give you since you've asked is all my time together. Take the rugged sunny days, the warm and rocky weather. Take the roads that I have walked along, looking for tomorrow's time. Okay. Okay. Peace of mind. As my life spills into yours. Changing, it's okay, I can do it myself. Changing with the hours, filling up the world with time, turning time to flowers. I can show you all the songs that I never sang to one man before. We have seen a million stones lying by the water. You have climbed the hills with me to the mountain shelter. Taken off the days one by one, setting them to breathe in the sun. Take the lilies and the lace from the days of childhood, all the willow winding paths leading up and outward. This is what I give, this is what I ask you for. new album, Spellbound. You can get it in the cloud, you know.
Windy day in Honolulu, looking out beyond the hills. Memories and times of heartache, lays of lilies, daffodils. Here I lighted like a bird upon the bright blue water shore, with my hope and with my nightmares, praying I could swim and soar. Dark dreams haunted sunlit days, while I drank down rum and hope, burning dreams and crimson lovers, dancing on the thin tightrope. Spellbound, spellbound, spellbound. Birds of paradise were walking as though they were angel songs. Bright wings flew along the beaches in their shimmering sarongs. And I thought when I would see them so content and so serene, how could I find that surrender? I could fly, but I would scream, fighting out of beauty's trance in the light of sand and water, knowing I would crawl the highways, finding my own kind of slaughter. Spellbound, spellbound, spellbound. Ooh, how I long to sing the day, doing what I saw you do, how you lived and danced in light, yearning to know what life knew. Whittle down the drinking gone, to whimper towards the sight of land, hungering to sail in water bright with promise, deep in sand. In these islands once I wept for the lost and for the found, surfacing in air and light. Now I live and I am spellbound, 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 spellbound,
Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, good. Now I want you to imagine this day. I was in my apartment in the Upper West Side of New York, and I had been told that I was going to get a visitor, and it was 1966, and so this man came to the door, and I opened the door, and I thought, I don't care if he can't write songs. We'll think of something. But fortunately, I didn't ever get into that part of my story. I didn't do anything. I fell in love with the songs, not with the man. Oh, what a rare occasion. And so he said to me, I can't sing and I can't play the guitar, and I don't know if this is a song. You decide. Suzanne takes your hand and she leads you to the river. She's wearing rags and feathers from Salvation Army counters, and the sun pours down like honey on Our Lady of the Harbor, and she shows you. What does she show you? She feeds you tea and oranges that come all the way from China, and just when you mean to tell her that you have no love to give her, she gets you on her wavelengths and lets the river answer that you've always been her lover, and you want to travel with her, you want to travel blind, and you think maybe you'll trust her, for she's touched your perfect body with her mind. And Jesus was a sailor when he walked upon the water. He spent a long time watching from a lonely wooden tower, and when he knew for certain only drowning men could see him, he said, all men shall be sailors then, until the sea shall free them. But he himself was broken long before the sky would open. Forsaken, almost human, he sank beneath your wisdom like a stone. And you want to travel with him, you want to travel blind, and you think maybe you'll trust him, for he's touched your perfect body with his mind. Suzanne takes your hand, she leads you to the river. She's wearing rags and feathers from Salvation Army counters, and the sun pours down like honey on Our Lady of the Harbor, and she shows you where to look amid the garbage and the flowers. There are heroes in the seaweed, there are children in the morning, Thank you, thank you. Thank you for coming. What a treat to be here with you. Ah, fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. First of all, thank you for coming today. And I want to thank everybody who's helped us and all the acts who are here. You know, we all get paid for the travel, not the singing. So thank you for all these wonderful artists who have come from near and far. Thank you. And thank you who have come from near and far. Thanks for coming to Shrewsbury once again. I want to thank, on the sound, I want to thank everybody who helps us and my particular sound man, Keith Roberts. Give him a wonderful warm hand. Thank you, Ash, and your team. And thank you to all these gentlemen who are filming us. You want to film them a little bit too, right? So you get it in the picture too. That'll be wonderful. You'll search for it on Hulu. And I want to thank also my amazing musical director, Mr. Russ Walden.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. I would love to have you sing the harmony or the melody or another song entirely. Because it is, of course, the spirit that counts. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. Through many dangers, toils, and snares we have already come. Through many dangers, toils, and snares we have already come. 'Twas grace that brought us. 'Twas grace that brought us safe thus far, and grace will lead us home. Amazing grace. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that
amazing grace of Judy Collins. What a memorable performance.